India has been known to be a land where language and speech changes every few kilometers. But how many languages do we speak in India? The answer to this question is a story of a mammoth undertaking and a beautiful journey of a British civil servant 130 years ago, George Abraham Grierson. Although born in 1851 in Ireland, I'll start the story of George Grierson from when he passed the first exam for admission to the Indian Civil Services in 1868. The Indian Civil Services had come from the remains of the erstwhile East India Company, which was dissolved and taken over by the British government after the revolt of 1857. These were officers of the British Empire who largely overlooked the administration of British India. Grierson spent 2 years preparing for the final exam at Trinity College, where his professor, Robert Atkinson, planted the seed of the idea of conducting a linguistic survey of the languages of India. It is interesting to note that some of his fellow undergraduates were Oscar Wilde and Bram Stoker, the two B famous writers. Also amongst them was Francis Spring, who would later become the chairman of the Port Trust of Madras and encourage a young Indian mathematician by the name of Ramanujam to pursue higher mathematics. But that is for another video. Grierson passed the exam in 1871 and left for India in 1873, where he was posted at Bakipur in Bihar and later became collector at Patna. Here, he wrote his first book, Bihar Peasant Life, in 1885 on the people of Bihar. What made his writing so interesting was that he did not only record facts, but added stories and anecdotes from the day-to-day life of the people he was observing. I would love to share an interesting anecdote from his book. While describing cooking pots, he stops to explain that a particular district had many robbers. The story goes that travelers carrying cooking pots were stopped by robbers and asked, "Is this your pot or mine?" If they said it's mine, they would be beaten up and their pots taken away. If they said it's yours, the robber would simply take the pot away. This led to a local understanding of the saying, "Is it your pot or mine?" being the same as "heads I win, tails you lose." In 1886, Grierson attended the International Congress of Orientologists in Vienna. Here, he proposed his long-standing dream of conducting a linguistic survey of India, and the resolution to conduct a systematic survey of the languages of India was undertaken. To understand how mammoth a task it was, remember that we are talking of British India. Today, that covers India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and even parts of Afghanistan. The survey was to include the languages spoken by 22 crores 40 lakh people from a total population of 29.5 crores. Madras and the states of Hyderabad and Mysore were excluded from the survey. The survey was conducted in three parts. First, a standard passage for comparison was to be translated into every known dialect and subdialect spoken in the area under study. Second, a represented narrative or prose passage was to be locally selected and translated. And third, a standard list of 241 words and test sentences was to be translated. The survey started in 1894 with most of the collection taking place for 5 years from 1898 to 1903. Grierson retired from the civil services in 1903 and started editing and compiling the gargantuan amount of data in his house in Surrey in England. It took him the next 25 years to finish the collection. When the Linguistic Survey of India was finally finished in 1928, it listed 179 languages with 544 dialects, their grammar, pronunciation, and even their scripts, and was a collection of 11 volumes in 19 parts, running to over 8,000 pages. At the end, Grierson wrote, "I lay these volumes as an offering before India that was long my home and that has itself had home in my heart for more than half a century. For me personally, these years of preparation were by no means without profit. I have been granted a vision of a magnificent literature enshrining the thoughts of great men and women from generation to generation through 3,000 years. Hidden under religiosity have I found religion. Hidden under legend, history. Wisdom have I found in the proverbs of the unwritten hand. For me, the linguistic survey of India is symbolic of many things. A lifetime spent over the study of Indian languages is proof of love which goes beyond the idea that being born onto a land makes it ours. Moreover, the survey stands testament to the vastness and variety that resides within this land. Page after page, it is proof that India's identity lies in its diversity.
कंडीशन ये थी जब बड़ा
कांटों को मुरझाने का खौफ नहीं होता।